what, this is the realistical situation what we are looking at in this. Dental laboratories in India are transforming, and a revolution is happening as far as the laboratory industry is concerned, and this transition is becoming a little painful for some, a little hectic for some, because it's a labor intensive place to a techno savvy place. Our dental laboratory science, as Dr. Mahendranath Reddy said about in the first small sensitization issues, that we were heavily dependent on the hand skills of things. Nothing is changed, but what has changed is the way we produce it. The production part, the initial parts are all the same. Instead of holding a wax knife or a carver, what we are holding is we are holding a mouse now today. It's the same, the skill is the same, the skill set is going to be the same. The skill set is not changed. But what is happening is that this is becoming into a techno-savvy or a technique-sensitive laboratory today. We are moving from people, labor-intensive job to a techno-intensive job. We are moving into it. So what's happening is this transition. Always when there is a transition happening in anywhere, even if it's our house, also there's a transition happening. It's not an easy transition. Transition takes time, and we need to adjust. We need to see what are we doing, how are we going, and how are we adjusting in these things. That's what I said. How many are laboratory owners or laboratory people who are in the laboratory? Because this is the reality today, is that the smaller laboratories, because we tend to have very, very small laboratories where a 2-person laboratory or a 3-person laboratory or a 1-person laboratory was a very, very common laboratory scenario what was happening in India. There was a dental technician, and his is the lab which is going to be there, and he was the chief person there, and there are support staff which are working onto it, and that laboratory was known for him. The laboratory worked on his skills and entirely on his skill set and working onto it. Today what is happening is that it is because it is becoming a very, very technique sensitive place. We require a lot more people into this place, and that is what happening. It is from labor intensive to a capital intensive production is occurring. Because all of us know today a laboratory, a scenario in laboratory is that a laboratory person is investing 3 to 4 times more than a dentist. A dentist is investing how much? 5 lakhs, 10 lakhs on his clinic? What's happening with the dental laboratory today? Dental laboratories become very, very intensive, where we have to put in a lot of money today. You want to be there, you need a CAD/CAM equipment, you need small equipments here and there, you need technology there, you have to do it. There was once upon a time, all the senior dentists, senior laboratory technicians will vouch for me, is that there was once upon a time when you have 5 lakhs of rupees, you had a cozy laboratory. You had a cozy laboratory in your place, you have a nice setup, a beautiful setup working for you. You had a nice boutique place, a boutique laboratory, we're working onto it. Today it is not so. Today, everybody, we think about it, say, okay, oh, you have this, you have that, you have this, you have that. You look into one small scanner, you need to give that money. You need to look into a milling machine, you look into it. You look into a 3D printer, you're looking into it. You're looking into into a CAM equipment, you're looking into it. So if you see out and out, an average laboratory which is working on I will talk to a middle level laboratory or a middle level laboratory today, is investing 40 to 50 lakhs on his laboratory. An average investment. I'm talking the lowest part of the investment when we are talking about a digital laboratory is 40 to 50 lakhs is investment. And what are we doing? 40 to 50 lakhs we are investing 3 times that of a dentist, and we still feel into a corner. Why are we? We have to come to the field. We have to tell the dentist. See, dentists also needs to be sensitized today. Dentists also have to know that I am a dental technician, I am doing a work, and this is what is involving my work. It is not a small, where I used to do some small wax up, and then my laboratory used to be a lot of fumes, a lot of place, a small dingy place where it is there, and we used to work on it, and it is not so. It is now becoming like a IT office, where you get into a laboratory. Probably I run a laboratory. 10 years back, if you get into my laboratory, it was one small area where there used to be a lot of plaster work. My boys used to be shattered this t-shirt with this and things like that, plaster here, there, work, wax here and there. Whereas today what's happening? Today you enter a laboratory, it's more like an IT office. You see cubicles, people sitting and then working on the mouse. The same amount of work what we are doing there is the same. So there is a continuous process. And this price process, there is always price pressure. There is always a price pressure. And this is not only dentistry or dental laboratory industry, every part of our life has got price pressures. And believe me, this price pressure is not only in India, it is all around the world. Whether you talk in Germany, you talk in US, you talk in UK, anywhere you talk, the price pressure is going to be there for you. So you just cannot say that, oh my God, there is a lot of pressure and then I keep on reducing the prices. Why I like to do this is that, see, we are not, as a laboratory technician, we have not understood what is happening. We are still in the mold of doing a wax pattern with an investing, with a cycle motor casting machine, and we work on that concept and we say, okay, my pricing was fixed on that day for that matter. Whereas today, why are we not considering the investment which has gone behind it? See, every industry has to understand its investment which is there. If we are not going to get back our investment when we are talking about such 50 lakh equipment we put into it, and I still say that my labor cost is 100 rupees, and I say, okay, my PFM work I was doing it at 600 rupees, and now I have invested on a CAD cam where I am doing the small bit, and I just increase 50 rupees and stand there. What about my investment which I have put into this place? We need to sensitize the dentist. I'm not telling you that you go into an exorbitant level and stand there. We need to, we need to come into this. The dentist has to understand that there is a pricing for the technology. There is going to be material science. Material science is growing rapidly. Here you can see in the exhibition that material science has grown so much. The cost of the materials have gone up. The cost of dollar has gone up. The cost of euro has gone up. What is the cost of the PFM crown which is we are doing it? It is the same. Probably 15 years back when you started your laboratory, you started doing it at 700 rupees, and 700 rupees at that time had some value. And today, it is 15 years, a lot of water has flown under the bridge, and still you continue doing it at 700 rupees. And what is the inflation? What is the costing? What is the material? Material, has the material cost come down? Has the metal cost come down? Has your investments come down? So you need to start thinking about all these things. We cannot just say that another fellow is running behind us and we run behind him saying that this is the costing. Cost pressures are going to be there, but it is something on us to take up. And this is why I am talking here is that maybe I am a dentist. You can say what this dentist is talking about dentistry. I have been in the laboratory industry. I have seen this grow from the last 15 years. I have been, 99, for people who do not know me, even though I am a dentist and prosthodontist, 99% of my time I spend in a dental laboratory. 99% of 1% is my clinical dentistry. 99% of the time I have seen the industry grow from where it was and to where it is today. There's a lot of things happening. It's for positive, but we need to take it into this one. So we need to start thinking a traditional competitive strategy and a competitive advantage links between supplier and a client, customer formed over the last 50 years of dentistry are breaking down and regrouping. We need to sensitize. This is a statement which I am not put into it. This is a statement in a dental economist. A dental laboratory economy magazine which comes in the US has put in. See, this is something which is not unique to India. We are in a transformation phase. We are in a transformation phase which all the countries have gone in. All the countries have gone through the same process. We are now in this same process. So if we don't pull up our socks and do it, our industry, the laboratory industry, will not, we are talking about there is a shortage of people coming into this place. There is a shortage of people who are working onto this. There is no qualified people. There are a lot of blah, blah, blah talking onto it. If we, the present generation of people who are running the laboratories or who are into the dental laboratory industry don't pull up our socks, this industry is going to go downhill because if there is not going to be income, there are not going to be newcomers coming into this. It's a sad state. You can see this sad state is because in our dental lab, there are so many colleges. Sorry. There are around 8 years back, there are at least, I'm sure there are 100 colleges which are giving dental technicians course. Today, probably it has come to 35 or 40 dental clinics which has come into this. So we need to understand dental colleges is come into it. So we need to understand that we need to shake up our field. Otherwise, there is not going to be any dental technicians coming into this force. We need to shake up, we need to do something, and we, the people presently sitting inside this place, is what is the positive growth which is to show. And this, I am not telling that we need to do something. This has been done by this has also happened in American Dental Association. Between between 2004 and 2005 or 2006 or 2008, there was a sharp decline of dental technicians in the US. Dental technicians were not, colleges got closed. There were not any people taking courses for dental technician because there was no, they were feeling that there is no income in this course. There's not going to be any financial viability of this course, and then course dropped. Then when the advent of CAD/CAM came, there was even a drop saying that, oh, all dental laboratories are going to close, the dentists are going to do work and no more dental labs, which is happening. But if you see now, a reverse, again the Dental Economists magazine, if you read the 2016-2017 version, there is a revision of these dental technicians there, because what happened was the people's thinking that CAD/CAM has come, so it is going to give a replacement, a technician. It is not so. It requires more skilled person to operate that machine. It is a semi-skilled person or a lower end skilled person is not being able to handle this machine. You can handle some wax ups, somehow you do something and you do some on these wax ups and you can do work and do it. But when you look into digital technology, you need a lot of training, a lot of education on it. Then only these technologies will do. These technologies are awesome. I always call this machine as an idiot box. They can do what you can do. Whatever you put into it, you get. You put sweet into it, sweet comes out of it. You put garbage into it, garbage comes out of it. So you need to get into this rut and doing things. It is time to reinvent and reapply ourselves in our traditional business and the way we run our businesses. The way we think about businesses, we should see. The depreciation of dental technology education, I talked about it. And the transition from hand artistry to machine-produced restorations have created a very big shift. So we need to adapt to this shift. We have adapted. How have we adapted? To be honest, let us touch our hearts and say that how have we adapted to this shift? We have adapted to the shift just by buying the machine. All of us, in the rat race of running and doing things, what have we done? What we have done in this is that we just bought machines. The companies came and said that this machine is going to produce the best restoration out of it. I did not bother about the skill. I bought the machine and kept it in my office, and I say, I have this machine. Boss, are you running this machine? How are you going to run this machine? You bought the best of the material. No offense meant to my good friend sitting here. I said, I have bought bio-HPP in my laboratory today. I really know how to handle that material. You should know how to handle the material. Just by bringing a disc, you have money in your pocket. You buy that material, keep it in your say, and then I am a lab certified to do work on that. Are you really equipped to do it? You need to undergo a lot of training. You need to undergo a lot of knowledge which has to be there. See, in olden days, what used to happen is 5 lakhs of rupees a laboratory. You get one training by a company or 2 trainings by a company, and then you start working on it. After 5 years, you are a super technician. So there is no other way, there is no other necessity for you to go for another training part of it, because you are doing the same thing day in and day out. You have one material which is there, a metal is there, a ceramic is there, and you go on applying, you become master. Anybody will become a master if you work for 5 years on any material or any technology you know about it. But today what is happening? Every 6 months, every year there's a new material coming, a new technology coming into the vision, and we are all, we want to be the rat race because I need to be one up from my neighboring lab. So a neighbor lab is buying a small furnace and he advertised, I bought a press furnace. I say, oh, there's something more than press furnace? Yes, I will go. Oh, the neighboring lab has bought a milling machine. He bought a milling machine which is 25 lakhs of rupees. I go and buy a milling machine which is 50 lakhs of rupees. And I say, I am doing metal milling machine. A lot of people call me and say, sir, I am looking for a milling machine, sir. I said, boss, what is your priority in the milling machine? Please tell me so we can help you out. You know what they say? No, I want to do metal. I want to do PFM. I want to do everything. Then I say, boss, what is the percentage of metal you are doing into it? How many cobalt chromium millings are you doing? Or how many titanium millings are you doing? We need to analyze before we put into any of these technologies into it. If we don't analyze, we're just going to end up, a costly bike sitting with it, which not using it. It's like, you want to buy an iPhone or you want to buy a Samsung, what is that latest 10 phone, which is 1,10,000 rupees. You buy a phone and you still want to receive calls and lift calls onto it and see what's up. What are you going to do with that? Why do you want 1,10,000 rupees to spend on that machine? You might as well buy a 3,000 rupees or 5,000 rupees mobile, which is going to do the same thing for you. So you should know we should start reapplying ourselves and reinventing ourselves in when we are doing these things. How many labs are there in India? 10,000, 12,000? Conservative estimate. 10 to 12,000 laboratories is what I say. Estimated 500 to 600 milling machines are there. And there are 600 to 800 more scanners there. I may be wrong because I just have to talk to my industry friends and I'll call up and say, what do you think? I said, sir, I sold 200 machines, sir. Another fellow says, I sold 100 machines, sir. So I just put in a word saying that these are the number of machines which are being sold. But this is a reality which we need to rethink on these things, which is looking into it. What are our machines doing? 90% of us are running the rat race of milling zirconia. We say zirconia is the ultimate material. Yes, I would not say that don't do that. But what are we doing with that machine? You have invested on a machine which is 50 lakhs of rupees and you want to mill only zirconia in it. What are you doing? You can do a 10 lakh machine and you can do mill zirconia. So we need to start rethinking on things. At least the people who are coming into the field has to start rethinking into it. What is the investment? What is my return on investment? How am I getting it? Am I getting it or not? Because I see what is happening is we have invested on costly equipment technology on it, and then the cost is not going up, the cost is going down, the cost is sliding down. You're every day talking on, that lab gives you at X price and this lab gives you at Y price, and what is happening? We are only fighting the price war, we are not fighting the technology war here. Let us all have to start thinking into it, because what is happening is that, as I told you, there was a short gestation period when we invested 5 lakhs on our ceramic furnace. See, our ceramic furnace, there have been people telling me, I have used my furnace for 10 years and nothing has gone wrong with my furnace. Yes, you bought your furnace for 3 lakhs and you started earning money, and after 1 year, you got your money back, and then after that is all free run for you doing it. Is your milling machine giving you that kind of investment which is there, which is after 1 year you get back your ROIs, and then after that is it a free milling? You need to keep on upgrading it. You need to do AMCs, you need to do your software upgrades, all those things have to be done. So we need to start thinking on it. Additive manufacturing is again another fad which I see now. Everybody wants a 3D printer in their office. What are you going to do with 3D printing? So, sir, I am to do wax printing and milling, or wax printing and casting. I said, great. Have you been able to achieve wax printing and casting? Because, see, it is easy. When you talk, it is easy, but there's a learning curve. You should understand how the material behaves, because it is not a traditional wax. It has got something to do with light cured. So you need to know how to use the investment, how to mix the investment, what is the expansion ratio of your investment. All those things they have to be known. So when you buy a technology, it is not just technology. You need to go through that rut. You need to go through the learning curve. And here, the learning and unlearning is much faster than what it was before. See, before, when I used to do PFM, we did castings, and once I get to know one set of boys know how to do castings, you give them 100 castings, it used to go every day. There used to be no trouble with us. Today what is happening, every 3 months, every 6 months, because of the pressures of the commercialization, the pressures of things, I need to be one up from other person, we keep investing on newer materials. And where is the time for us to learn and unlearn? Learn and unlearn. This is what is happening, and we just go on investing on things and we are not able to do it. Or all our milling laboratories used optimally? Or all of us technically competently running these milling machines? We should understand we are dental technicians. We are not engineers to do work on it. So we need to know how to run this machine in a proper way, how to upkeep the machine. See, there's a suction which has to be kept. They say suction gives a lot of sound and when that fellow offs it. And what's happening is the dust which is going into your spindle back. And when it goes to your spindle after a year, if your spindle goes, then your heart attack comes. I know how many laboratories have put their milling machines in one corner now because they're not able to repair it. Where is the money for repair? Because we do not even think about reinvesting the money into this place, no? Because we have never calculated in our ROI plan saying that this machine requires an upkeep. So I need to keep some amount, every crown I mill out of it, I need to keep some money out of it for running this milling machine. Because we are not used to it, because we are used to, our thinking is only used to doing a ceramic furnace, maximum goes is 25,000, 50,000 is okay, I can get it done. But here the milling machine goes, it's a few lakhs of rupees which goes into it, and then you're getting into trouble. So you need to start thinking on it, and if you don't think on all these things, $1 million question. Are all of us running profitably? I'm doing 500 units, I'm doing 1000 units, I'm doing 1500 units. This is what is the answer. When I talk to some of my friends who are running milling machines, I say, boss, how was your month? Sir, I did 1500 milling, sir. 1500 millings is awesome. At what price did you mill, boss? That is the answer. See, number game is all right. But at the end of the day, you should understand that when you are doing the number game, you should get really good numbers to run that machine. We are not still gone into where we call it as a production center and things like that is still not the concept come into the picture. So we need to start thinking on these things. What are the bottlenecks we are facing? We are facing bottlenecks in every place. We're facing bottlenecks in every place because you know what is happening? Because of the cost pressure, the only pressure we feel is the cost pressure, and because of the cost pressure, we keep on reducing it. Today, I buy a tool of a milling machine which is paying an X amount of money, and then I say, okay, I calculate. I put a calculator and I say, oh my God, I'm spending 10 rupees on my tool. And I come to an expo like this, another corner, there's one guy who says, I give you a tool at Y price. And you buy that tool, you're making more harm to your tool, your machine, than the tool itself. So you start becoming more smarter and calculating and doing it, otherwise you're going to lose in these. Is it possible for all laboratories to go on investing in the newer inventions? This is another thing which we have to start thinking on. Because today, if you see left, right and center, everybody putting on the investment scenario, really are we looking into the investment scenario? We should look into it. Is collective and inclusive growth an answer for this? I would say yes. I would say we have to all synergize ourselves. If for the betterment of our industry, we need to synergize. We need to sit down, we need to talk, we need to synergize. Okay, boss, you are there, you are a boss in that field. I will do, you get me the work, I will do it for you. I'm a master in one team, I will do this for you. At the end of the day, all of us can live. It's a question of equilibration of things. If we don't have to equilibrate, I swear we are all going the downhill. Not that I'm giving a very sorry picture of it, but this is the way it is. And this is the way the world, you know what, India is a little slower in all these curves, but these curves have already been run through all these countries, and we can be better off. We understand these curves, that these are the places which can be doing it. As awareness grows, shortage of highly trained technicians is glaring at us. You know what, everybody in the morning, there have been at least 3 to 4 people talking to me saying that, Shiva Shankar, somehow technicians are not getting to run the place. I need someone who can do this, who can do that, who can do this. Everything you want to do on a person, it is not difficult. So technicians are glaring as a workforce. And those technicians who do not invest their time, energy and money on getting a newer technique learned are going to lose out. They're going to be jobless. There are technicians, there are 100 technicians in this, but they're not fitting into my industry today. See, my industry, any industry has to thrive. There is 2 things. One is resource, another is knowledge. Why did IT industry come to India? Why are we kings in IT industry? It's because we had a knowledge base. We had people, we had knowledge base, we had colleges. So there were people churning out in these places, and a little bit of training on their methodology, we could get the trained staff into this IT field, and that is how it came into this picture. We knew English. That is one of the reasons why all the world started looking into us. Why world did not look for these work, which is a speaking work, or which is IT work, into China? That is because they knew that language is a big barrier there. Why is dental laboratory industry thriving in China with huge labs with 3,000, 4,000, 5,000 people working in? It's because it's hand skill. It's because they have a structured education, and they have done something where they are churning out people who can work for us every day and out. So we need to start thinking in all these lines if we need a robust dental laboratory scenario in the Indian situation. Staying abreast of market changes, adapting to those changes and educating ourselves on advanced segments of dental technology is the ultimate weapon what we need to do it. It is true in life, it's true in business, right? If we need to be a little higher up in this place, we need to keep on reinventing ourselves. We need to keep ourselves motivating. Future holds a great promise and exciting prospects for the dental laboratory technology, because the number of dentists increase, the number of dental laboratories also will have to be there. So the number of technicians who need to be producing, who need to churn out these restorations are also required. So as dental laboratory technicians, if you see the future is very, very bright for us, provided we educate ourselves. History tells us that surviving any change requires knowledge and willingness to adapt. Education wins out every time. If you don't have a proper education, you're not going to go anywhere. You need to come into these congresses. See, this is a brilliant idea. 2 years back when Manzar approached me saying that we need to do a laboratory, a laboratory conference like this, I was happy. I was very, very happy. At the same time, I was a little taken aback, in the sense a little step behind also, is because, see, I'm a dentist. Whatever said and done, I was a dentist, I'm a prosthodontist. Technicians may feel that, oh my God, this fellow came into this field also. But at the end of the day, when we saw the way it is growing, I'm really happy for it that it is growing, because every year we need to keep on increasing. You should motivate your technician friends to come into it. Forget the lab for 2 days. Nothing is going to happen. Your dentist travels 3 days for his conferences. So 2 days, if you're not there, nothing is going to happen. You need to educate yourself. You need to be there, because the future is that dentists are going to look at you as solution providers. They need end-to-end solution for you. They have a clinical situation. They have ended up in a situation where, whether it's implant prosthesis or any other prosthesis, you are the guy who's going to go and you have to become their man Friday. Take it from me, a few people are surviving in their field is because they are man Fridays for them. They end up in a situation where they are not able to restore the whole part of it. You step in, start giving ideas. See, you have more ideas than them. Here I want to, I talk as a dental technician. So you have more ideas than them. You know how to approach it. You know, you can keep the end in the mind and start approaching towards it, and then you know where you are doing. So you are giving a total solution to the dentist. The dentist comes with a scenario, and then you say, okay, doc, we can do this step, or this step. It's up to him to take up the chance. So they want solution providers. So if you want to become solution providers, you need education. You need to keep abreast yourself. You need to see the people who are working and get motivated on their work and do work on that and get trained yourself with all these technologies which is available. Technology is a boon. Believe me, it's a boon. And it can also be a bane in countries like India, because half-baked person sitting the technology is bad. You are giving bad name to the technology. A lot of people talk to me and say, Shiva Shankar, CAD cam Corona, I don't believe it breaks. I said, boss, where did you get it done? Because see, we should be very, very conscious, because we are torch bearers of that particular technology, and if we do not, we do not give it and represent it in a proper way, we're going to create a death of the industry. The same way I'm talking about, we, the torch bearers of people sitting here, or people who are in the laboratory ownership, have to start thinking that what is my future generation going to be there? How is my future of my dental laboratory industry in the Indian scenario going to work? So, we need to start thinking ourselves. We need to start reinventing ourselves and thinking that rather than running the rat race, yes, at the end of the day, I have to run the commercial place, you have to run the commercial place. At the end of the day, I have to pay the EMI, I have to pay my salaries, my technician salary, all are good, all are fine. But we also slowly restart thinking on this, whether these technologies, how can we adapt it? We cannot stay away from technology. We have to know how to adapt it, and we can say whether it is an inclusive growth when we can adapt and how we can adapt. Thank you for the organizers for giving me a time.